Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics. I am here with Rich Christensen at his house. How many tanks you got?
I think 18 or 20, I'm not quite sure.
18 or 20 tanks. And what kind of fish are we going to be looking at today?
Cichlids, actually. African cichlids.
A lot of African cichlids.
Yes.
Well, we've got some South American cichlids too.
I do, but I mostly do African cichlids.
And some plecos.
Yes, I'm getting into plecos, angels, and discus.
And I thought I saw some goldfish.
Yes. Those are rescues, but that's all right.
And a turtle.
And a toad and a frog. Those are
some
also.
Dogs and some cats.
We have 3 dogs and 3 cats.
Okay,
yes,
so then we're going to be looking at more than just African cichlids.
Yes, that's correct.
So this is the tank when you first walk in. This is what we see. This is kind of cool. So this is a, what size is it, 75?
It's a 90 gallon. Yes.
90,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, a little taller.
Now, this is a Pinway, and if you look at her, she has defects. And she's like 6 years old. You figure she'd be larger. But, you know, you don't have to be perfect, and as we go on, you'll see I have a lot of fish that are blind and stuff like that. I'll never reproduce her, you know, have her mate or nothing like that. And this is just a stinker Burundi that was causing problems with my friend, so, you know.
Had to go to this tank, huh?
Yeah, that's right. And, of course, what are Morii?
The dolphin.
But the cool thing is, if you would, oh my gosh, I have another batch. If you would get really close right here, these Neolamprigotis bushari, they just are non-stop. I mean, they just constantly breed. And as you know yourself, Jason, you know, they're good with their siblings where they don't consume. And it gets to be when they get like an inch long or so, you know, mom and dad will chase them away.
I've got a 37 with those things right now, and they took off. There's probably like 60 of them in there now.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
it started with 3.
Yeah.
Now, are you breeding the blue dolphins?
Oh yeah, I have. They have bred before. You know, I'm just more of a hobbyist. You know, like Blue Lagoon. I mean, fish are gonna breed. You can't stop it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I have some other ones over my other tank. They're offspring. And as far as the yellows, I got all the females out because I don't want them reproducing. But you know, it is what it is, I guess.
And all these fish are getting along pretty well. I mean, you got the blue dolphins, but sorry, they're not super aggressive.
I know.
Yellow labs.
I believe in structure, and I'm real serious when I say this. I don't know nothing about diseases or nothing like that. And the reason why is because I believe in water changes like once a week, and I'm very serious with that. And you can't say I'm going to do like 20% every 2 weeks, or I'm going to miss and do 40% once a month and 80% 2 months. I mean, 2 or 3, minimum 2 times I'll come down like this low with water changes. And my point where I'm going with this, if you would look, and I don't know much about diseases, but if you would look what causes a lot of diseases and illness with fish is because of bad water conditions.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't know much about when people tell me that stuff for that reason. And these guys are something as far as hornet, bumblebee, pseudotropheus, cadio. No, that's my fiance. I'm thinking something.
Crabbo?
Crabbo, yes. That's the joke right there.
Yeah.
My gosh, these guys are vicious. You want to talk about being aggressive. They're like the Melochromis johannii. They're just point blank mean, you know what I mean?
And what's crazy is they're all pretty like this until then you can see the males starting to blacken up, and people get these because they're yellow and brown, and oh, they're going to be beautiful, and then they bring them home, they get big, males turn black and kill everything.
Yeah, as you know, these are Neolamprigotis multifasciatus.
Yeah.
I say it in Italian.
So you've got not only Maltese breeding here, but it looks like maybe you've got some bristlenose breeding in here as well, huh?
I have bristlenose, I have blood throats, which I wouldn't suggest anyone to do what I'm doing, and multifasciatus. And again, with the multifasciatus, you know, they will breed, my gosh, you know, every couple days. And they just keep them love child, because when she was a puppy, you know, she has a heart on her head, so that's where we got love child from, you know?
Yeah, and a good dog too.
This is a severum, as we know, but we call it orange Frontosa because she, you know, I didn't invent her, I don't care. But she grew up with the Frontosa. She hangs out with the alpha male. And then when I got this guy at a GCCA, Greater Chicago Cichlid Association, at a swap, you know, this one kind of like guided her through. But every time, as far as one of my females have a mouthful, I will know, this sounds so crazy, because that severum will hover over the spot where the female is hiding with the mouth, and she's like a protector.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just absolutely psychotic.
These Frontosa now.
Pinway.
Yeah. They have babies sometimes.
Yeah, all the time, you know. And there's always a constant struggle. This is the alpha male right here, but there's the subdominant male. There's always constant conflict, and they've been fighting. And the reason their colors are like how they are, because they're stressed out, because the two males, subdominant and male, are fighting, and when they start fighting and disturbing the tank, it causes an effect on all of them. So that's why you see like the darkness, you know, as far as, I have a couple green phantoms in there. But we have a Synodontis, and it is a hybrid. We know it's a Synodontis, but it is a hybrid. And look at that. Isn't that something? Yeah. And a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on what type that is, but when we were at Greenwater Aquarist Society, you showed me this new Frontosa, you know, that's man-made. It's just like the Black Widow, you know, European. And I find it amusing where people say, oh, I've got a wild red Frontosa. There's no such thing, you know. The majority of these guys, I think I have one Burundi in here, but they're all 7 lines, and the parents are over there. Yeah.
So you've got angels and Frontosa together.
Yeah, and if you would look at the angels, okay, I would never have any fish that are, you know, I wouldn't suggest anyone, even though an angel, as we both know, is a cichlid, but I would never suggest anyone to have angels with cichlids. But Frontosas, they're mellow yellow, they're docile. As you can see, the finnage and stuff like that, it's not bad or nipped up.
No.
But that's the dad right there of all the Python Islands we'll see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, he's old. Victorians, you know, they start off color up young.
Oh, yeah.
And they breed young, you know that, Jason.
Yeah.
But he was picture perfect. To me, as far as Python Island is one of the most attractive cichlids out there.
Yeah,
that's
they're
just,
pretty.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. And again, you know, we got the Bashari again breeding here. You can see the little youngins. But, you know, I'm just a hobbyist. What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? But the reason I have this on here is because...
hang on the front.
Yeah, right. I call them pearl cichlids. They're earth eaters. Every time they go ahead and start moving rocks, that's where they want to lay eggs. You know what I mean?
You just have 2 adults, 1 male, 1 female?
In here, no. There's 5.
5 adults?
Yes.
And they basically leave the fry alone from each other?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And, you know, they all grew up together. I don't know if that they're like puppies and kittens.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it works for me, but I don't think it's going to work for too many other people. But it just seems like the 5 adults, even he'll have offspring with 2 of the females, but they don't seem to consume the other one.
So what else we got going on here? So you said, obviously got some more Frontosa.
Yeah.
And these are offspring from some of your big boys?
Yeah, actually, they're hiding right now. And my male, he's on loan because my buddy, I've been doing Frontosas since I was a teenager. There was 2 males that injured themselves so bad they both perished. So my male, who's reproducing, and here are the offsprings.
Yeah.
And like I said, I would never suggest anyone. There's a whole bunch of them in here. You know, leaving the fry. You could see them all, you know.
Yeah. And then you've got them in here with the Geophagus Weinmilleri, you said?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
And again, so here we've got.
Yeah.
And I do this too. I mean, in fact, I've got a Geophagus, which I guess is now an Altifrons, with a Frontosa, and they've always gotten along just fine, and they're at 150. And here you've got fry from both. Not a single issue. They're all getting along.
I know if it's laziness or whatever, but my gosh, you see all the little youngins, the offspring.
Yeah.
You know, what am I going to do? Am I going to take, you know, strip the mother and put them in a breeder net, then put them in a 10-gallon, and you've been through my whole place. Pretty soon I'd have 200 tanks. I'm not doing that no more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of these fish are, you know, just rescue, and they do what they do. And I tell people, like, they ask me, Rich, what is that, you know? and I'm like, it's a peacock, it's a lanacar or whatever. Like, what is that? You know, I know it's a peacock, but they're hybrids. You know what I mean? And again, we're just hobbyists. Like me and Katie, my fiance, we'll sit at the dining room table here, and we'll go ahead and she'll, relax. These are Victorians, obliquins.
Obliquins, yeah.
I really like these guys.
They can be really mean too.
I know, but they just seem to get along.
Yeah.
But this is like a grow out tank, so as you know, I do a lot of donations as yourself, the clubs and stuff like that, or I'll trade them or whatever. But my gosh, I just think that's for a Victorian.
Pretty.
Yeah, it is. And these are Python Islands. Now, what I was talking about earlier, his father in that other tank looked just like him, and he is just starting to color up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were an artist, you could not paint a prettier fish. Look at the blue and the lime and so many different colors. Look at that side shot right there. That is a perfect view. This is, again, I'll repeat, a Python Island, Lake Victoria. That is not my favorite fish, but that's
really cool.
Yeah, it really is.
So this is a bonus tank that I wanted to show you. This is a friend of Rich's. His name is Edward. Edward, thank you so much for having us over. This is his 125. Often I see on the internet, and I'm asked myself, if you can keep South and Central American fish with African cichlids. And the answer is maybe. It depends on your experience level. It depends on the size of the tank. It depends on the inhabitants. But I wanted to show you this example because it seems to be working. Now here we've got a mix of peacocks, we've got some mbuna, and right away when we mix those two fish, there are going to be some concerns in terms of aggression. Now you will see in this tank as we look at it, while fish will chase each other around as all cichlids do, we really don't see any fish with any fin nipping. We don't see any fish hiding in a corner or hiding behind a rock. This mix right now is working out okay. And so I wanted to answer that question. Can you keep Central and South American fish with African cichlids? Yes, depending on how you do it. Now, one thing you have to understand is that if a particular fish doesn't work out in this setup, Ed has an opportunity to move that fish to somebody else. He has a lot of friends in the fish keeping community. And so when you have that, it makes life a little bit easier. And so in this tank, this is a 125. We can see here we've got some OBs. This was a really cool pink convict. There's a firemouth in here. There are some mbunas in here. There are some peacocks. Perhaps the biggest challenge with a tank like this is feeding. The temperature, the water parameters, most of all of these fish are going to be fine right around your average water parameters. So maybe somewhere around neutral, maybe slightly higher. Temperature somewhere around 78 degrees. A water hardness probably somewhere around 8 to 12 degrees. Now this, again, a lot of times people say, well, they need different water parameters. And my response to that is going to be, do you change the water parameters in your particular setups from one tank to the next to meet those needs? I do not. With 62 tanks in our fish room, the water comes out of the same spot. It's all Chicago water, and all the fish that we keep are doing fine. Now, yes, when you have wild caught fish, that can be more of an issue, but in this particular case, it worked out okay. So a big thank you to both Rich and Ed for showing us their fish tanks. If you enjoyed this video, share, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Come on over, let's see how we do with the height difference. No, you're supposed to go the other way.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Hey, I'm with Little Rich.
Is this an intro?
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Rich. I enjoy long walks on the beach, mountain climbing. Oh, this is the wrong video.
Wrong video, yeah.
Now, you're not going to delete this, are you? Or edit that, what I just said? Anyways, go ahead. Wait, here, just keep that rolling. Wait a moment.
What are we going to see? Where are we going?
Here we go.
Oh boy.
But for you viewers, Jason is the most intelligent guy I've ever met in my life. He is respected by all and wanted by many. I only wish, is this what, right?
I'll give you money later. The only thing that envelope said was water change.
No, seriously, I want to say that water changes, again, I'll repeat myself, that is the key thing. I don't know if the dog is urinating or what it's doing,
No,
but
it's just sitting there.
water changes are the key.